This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Arlo the Rabbit. Venture through 5 vast and amazing worlds through the eyes of a rabbit? Arlo the Rabbit is a game that harkens back to the Game Boy era through its visuals and gameplay, where the player can defeat enemies with objects while hopping around as a cute little bunny. Play through Arlo's adventure when the game releases on Wednesday, May 23rd on Steam for only $3. Now, we hope you enjoy this episode of the podcast. Okay, welcome to the
We
Splat
need a
and Chat
list of
podcast,
people.
the show that somehow had enough budget for another episode to be made. Go figure. So, my name is Skittles, also known as Devon. I'm the host of the Splat and Chat podcast, and I write music and make stories. Nate, you're next.
Okay, hi there. I'm Nate. I'm an artist, a musician, and a video game designer.
All right, Floral.
Okay, I'm Floral, otherwise known as Sam, and I play fighting games, and that's about all I do with my life.
All right, and Josh.
Hi, I'm a video game designer, and I'm also an artist and a comic book enthusiast.
All right, sweet. So this is technically our first official episode of the podcast. Yay!
Woo! Yeah!
So, as,
Woo!
as our subtitle suggests, we're going to be talking about video games, but what do we play video games on, I wonder?
Ooh. Dude,
Go ahead.
Switch.
Speak your mind.
Nintendo Switch, dude.
Yeah, there we go.
Who's that?
So
Yeah.
we're gonna be
Who's
The
that?
Nintendo Switch. Let's play Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about.
Switch it
Ooh.
up.
So, with the Switch being a year old now, I think it deserves. Well, I mean, first, it's had a plethora of games that we've been able to enjoy since, like Splatoon, which recently got updated.
It
What
did?
else? Yeah, Super
Splatoon?
Mario
Yeah, I
Odyssey.
got
Yeah,
the
today.
3.0.
What they had?
The 3.0 update.
That's
Cam Triggerfish.
Real descriptive.
Yeah. um,
Alright, I'll take your word for it.
yeah. But yeah, we've been able to
Cool.
enjoy a plethora of games such as like Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Splatoon, Super Mario Odyssey, and we even have Super Smash Bros. Coming up. But I think it deserves more games being ported to the Switch. However, where are
Yep.
they? Why are most games showing up on other consoles and not the Switch? So what are
It's
our
a
opinions on
conspiracy
that?
theory. The government are lizards. Actually, I'm kidding. So, my big problem with this is I know what the marketing strategy here is. They know Switch fans will most definitely buy a game a second time because of the portability. But I'm seeing really common trends with things such as Dark Souls Remastered was the most recent example that I can think of this, where it got delayed for the Switch version only for bug fixing, quote unquote, right? But that's complete excuse my language, bullshit. Because
Language is
because
excused.
it's gonna be the it's gonna be the worst version of the game by far because it's only gonna be 10 FPS, 30 FPS at 720p, and that's inferior to every other version, which is either 4K or 1080p, 60 FPS.
Wait,
So
the 720p is only in portable mode. It's
it's 1080p
1080
docked.
on TV.
I
Yeah.
would push 60 720 on docked if that was the case.
They said it was gonna be 1080, but it runs in
So did they
4K
lie just to increase
Xbox
sales
One.
on other consoles?
Gas.
That is potential. I would definitely say there is a chance that they do that. And then you have a company, and actually this is a second case of Bandai Namco doing this. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 released for the Switch last November, I believe, and Bandai Namco, who just released Dragon Ball FighterZ and in the middle of their Season 1 DLC plan, have also said that if Xenoverse 2 does well on Switch, they will release Dragon Ball FighterZ for the Switch down the line. And I have two theories about that. And they said if it sold well, Xenoverse 2 is what I'm referring to, which has sold 500,000 units, which is good for a port of like
Is it
an
best-selling?
older game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's best-selling version.
Did they say like how well, like what do they define well as? Like did they like have like a certain sale number, or did they just say well? You know?
They just said well. They just said they want it to do decently, which is whatever.
Oh, that's lame.
So what they said is that Dragon Ball FighterZ would come to the Switch eventually, blah, blah, blah. And I have a theory on that, and I think it's because they want people to, one, double dip at the full $60 price, and two, I think they will either include the season 1 DLC in an enhanced version, or they will not, and they'll make people double dip on the DLC and game. And I think it is a complete way to money gouge like really vulnerable markets.
Yeah, I would totally
I
agree.
mean,
Just to show that like they just really want somebody's money. Like if like
Yeah,
because I mean, yeah, you kind of just put it perfectly there. I mean, like if it's weird how they're kind of how Bandai is really just setting up kind of like an empty promise. But fans, they know fans are clamoring. They were clamoring before the game even came out to other consoles. So like I think yeah, it's just a simple money grab, and for people to buy a Switch and not see a game that everyone's clamoring for on there. I don't know if it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna hurt sales or anything, but it's definitely kind of wasted potential considering what the Switch can do.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z can run on anything, so there's no reason for it not to be on Switch. It can run on the lowest of low end computers. It's a really well optimized game. They have no excuse.
Mm.
Now, another game that I've been thinking about is how do you guys feel about the Wolfenstein 2 Switch port? Because that is
I was
clearly an
just about
impressive
to talk
game.
about that.
All right, you go ahead and start that topic then.
No, it's like it's releasing way too late.
Yeah,
Way too late, and it's probably going to run like Doom or even worse.
Didn't it already come out?
it ran decently.
And
No, it comes out like at the end of May, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
it
but
came out yet.
Bethesda's been porting every single game they have to the Switch.
Yeah,
I
Skyrim,
mean, yeah,
all that.
Skyrim obviously is some cash grab,
Yeah,
like always.
Yeah, for
Todd hiding behind the
But
tree.
yeah, I mean it's almost pretty much out on everything, right? Except for like mobile phones.
Yeah,
it was
I
60
have it on my
bucks for
fridge.
the
I have
Switch
Skyrim on my
version.
fridge.
60 bucks
Yeah, but like it hasn't dropped at
for a
all, which is crazy.
yeah, for a like what? It released in
2010, 2011 maybe?
2011.
Yeah.
It
2011.
did.
Yeah, it's a 7-year-old game
And they still want 60.
with 60 bucks. The Last of Us The Last of Us Remastered sold for 20 bucks 1 year after the original release.
PS4 games really do go down in price really quickly though, so I don't think that's entirely a fair comparison because Nintendo has always had a history of making their games completely overpriced. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
but
why they
this
Well,
don't
I
drop their
mean,
Bethesda,
it's a
prices.
this is
consistent
Bethesda.
price though, if you think about it.
It's consistent, but it doesn't excuse the fact that they're asking $60 for a game with the amount of content like a 3DS game would have, like Kirby Star Allies.
Yeah,
Interesting.
also Skyrim is garbage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've never played it, so I mean, I don't have an opinion on it,
It has
but
nothing going for it.
It's
It's
very
like
mediocre.
it's going you will find it to be the greatest RPG of all time if that's the only RPG you have ever played.
Entirely.
well, I'm still not interested. But I mean, it's whatever.
Should we
Yeah,
talk
I
about
don't.
Wii U ports?
Wii ports? I mean, yes, I actually have. Have you guys heard about the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze port and how it's actually
With
in
the new
handheld mode?
funky mode?
I
No,
haven't even
Funky
I haven't
mode.
even played the original, so
Me,
I mean I haven't played
Yeah, I
Tropical
didn't play the
Freeze, so
original. I'm going
I
to
wouldn't know.
buy this one.
so the big problem with it is that in handheld mode, the game ran at 1080p 60 FPS on Wii U, I believe,
on handheld.
but in no, on Wii U default.
Oh, like
So
on the
1080p 60
tablet or
FPS,
like on
right?
the screen?
On the Wii. Well, the gamepad was 420p regardless of how you
Oh,
sliced and diced it.
right. I forgot. Sorry, the Wii U doesn't do that.
So the problem with this is that in handheld mode on the Switch, it doesn't push 720p. It pushes 678p, I believe, which I mean is like I know I'm being really nitpicky and that it will run fine and it'll look fine because 678p isn't that far off from 720p in the end, but it's still just terrible to charge 60 bucks for a port of a game that can be had for $20 and is objectively inferior outside of the new content.
Interesting. Even
Yeah.
with the new funky mode.
I mean, they're kind of
Yes.
trying to get back from all the money they lost with the Wii U.
Yeah, I'd
Honestly,
imagine.
yeah, that Nate, you actually kind of bring up a good point. That actually might be why they're trying to recoup all that money that that they unfortunately lost with the Wii U to boost, the money that they lost, basically.
Yeah, but we ain't getting back money.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
smart ones.
I think they should do it. Yeah, definitely.
Now, the one port I need is Tokyo Mirage Session.
Oh, I've
Mm.
heard rumors about that getting
I
ported,
thought,
and I think
I
it's
bought that game and I really liked it, but I didn't get to play much because anime
yeah,
girls
isn't
singing and
there,
yeah.
dancing on the TV.
wasn't there supposed to be a
With
game
my parents
released on
nearby,
that?
it's like, no
I don't know.
thanks.
I don't know too much
But
about
it was
that
pretty
series,
cool.
but didn't they have a game for that when the Switch like first launched?
Yeah, they Shin Megami Tensei 5 was one of the first games announced
Yeah,
for the Switch, but it's still not out.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
ooh,
it was at
yeah,
the Switch conference in
it's
January 2017.
right. Oh,
yeah, it was just
I
confirmed.
know. I didn't. I
So,
Uh,
didn't know it
yeah.
but this
wasn't
one
out
is a
yet.
crossover with Fire Emblem.
See, and what they betrayed the fans on that one, and I don't want to get into that because that's a really long topic for me. But that game had its very own weird niche, and it was very unpopular for its time. Though I do have to admit, the RPG elements were very well designed, and the game
Yeah, and
itself was
remember,
well
it
crafted.
was a mix of Persona 4 mechanics and Persona 5
Mm,
mechanics.
Yeah, they were using the
Like
Persona 5 engine for it.
the randomized maze, but with the perspective with the camera in the back.
interesting.
Yeah, but let us move on from that because that game's just rumored. Any games that you guys would actually like to see get ported from the Wii U?
Oh, you're going to hate me for this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Xenoblade X.
No.
I'm not going to
No.
comment.
No. No.
Moving on.
I didn't get that much into X, but I
I got
liked
so bored.
I sort of liked it.
Yeah, seriously, X was a boring game. Like it
I
just was not fun.
Yeah, I got so
I don't
bored of it.
know.
I ended up
I had
selling it
fun.
and getting Odyssey.
Mm.
Dude, I would sell my copy if it wasn't worth more than like 15 bucks.
Oh,
There was a game store near me that like bought it full price since it was like brand new.
dang. That's
Mine's
crazy.
like has the wrapping off, and that's all.
That's crazy. What was I about to say?
But
Oh,
I'd asked for the original Xenoblade Chronicles in HD, but
Yeah,
it works well with low graphics. That's the
like
beauty
how
of
it
its
came out
art.
on the 3DS.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
I actually have that for the new 3DS.
Yeah, that's where I played it first. But then
Same
I
here.
moved on, and I moved to the HD remaster texture pack on PC, and oh my god, the difference is night and day. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, a game
So
that I wouldn't mind buying for the third time and having it come back to the Switch is freaking Splatoon. Just chilling.
Oh, the original
The
one.
first
the
Splatoon.
original,
Yeah,
please.
me too. Me
Honestly, I
too.
would just
I
play it again. I don't even mind.
what you having me at a loss for words. You want okay, let me get this
Go
straight.
ahead, go ahead.
You want an objectively inferior game to be ported to the Switch.
Yes. And you know why?
Oh my god.
Freaking
Well,
I
it
Octo
could be
do.
added as a mode,
What about
kind of
Octo
like
Canyon
how
in
World of
HD?
Warcraft is getting the classic mode.
Yeah, maybe.
What I mean?
They could what they could do in Splatoon 2 is just honestly this would appease me completely and it probably make me like Splatoon 2 again. They could just they could just make it so you can skip the intro. That makes
Oh
me love
my
the game
god,
again.
yes. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I think.
Is it bad that I
I
actually
played the
don't
first
mind?
one,
I mean,
the first
yeah,
Splatoon the
I'm
other
kind of with
day,
you on that.
and the intro goes by in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
It
10
takes so
seconds is a
long.
lot.
no, but like I
Yeah,
mean,
but compared to Splatoon 2,
I kind of agree with Josh. I don't really mind it. Like, it's just fine.
Yeah,
Splatoon 2
it
takes like
adds to
over
it.
Yeah,
I
30.
think it adds to it
yeah.
for me.
When I don't see, but the problem with Splatoon in like on the Switch is that it's supposed to be a very pick up and play game, as many games on the Switch are. But Splatoon 2 forcing this arbitrary introduction that takes up your time as the player, making the game that's just pick up and play. It's not pick up and play if you have to sit through an intro and all this other crap.
It's
And it's
yeah.
honestly turned me off from playing the game.
So I'm gonna talk about ports, but in general,
By all means.
any games that were on 3DS and like really anything from PC to CDI, do you want like
Ooh.
any games on the Switch that would just make it perfect, like a perfect library?
Josh, I want to hear your picks because you said they were weird.
All right, starting with the first one, Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh
I
my god,
agree.
yes,
Oh
yes, yes,
my
yes,
Yes.
yes.
gosh, that'd be
Yes, yes, and
amazing.
1,000 times yes. Oh my
That'd
god,
be
I
That
love that
amazing.
game.
needs
I
to.
need that in my life.
I recently played it and I fell in love with it yet again.
That game
One of
So
my
is
favorite
lit.
games of all time. I
that
love
needs
it.
to be with the multiplayer too. I remember when I
That was
actually
fun.
first
Oh
when
yeah,
it
the
first came
multiplayer is
out.
great.
When it first came out, there's like a tournament, and I got second place in like the local tournament here.
That's cool.
So I kind of just
Oh, I
on
actually,
there.
do you remember the AR cards?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
had
have all of
those.
them. I have
Yeah,
all of
I
them.
have
All of them.
Yeah, I have
all
all
of the
of them.
Kitty Icarus ones.
Yeah.
All of them are. Some of
I
them are worth
told
like
you I
Give
20
love
them to me right.
bucks.
Give them to me right now. Oh
No, I'm
my
good.
god, I love them. I
There's
got the 3 Sacred Treasures.
yeah, I have those too.
Those are,
Really?
it's worth like $300, right?
Yeah,
About
they're worth
so.
a lot. They are worth a
Yeah.
lot.
There's only like 300 out there.
The second game, this is gonna be really, really weird. I want
Bravely
some sort
Default.
of
Bravely Default.
Wait, hold
no,
on, let him
not a
say
big
it,
fan of it.
dude.
Um, it's got to be a sequel to Kirby's Dream Course.
Ooh.
Like I know it's weird to say that, but that game has such a special place in my heart where I can sit down and play it for hours upon end, over and over again, by myself because nobody wants to play it with me. But that's where like Switch multiplayer would come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would be
yeah,
you could play it with friends online. That would be
that would
perfect.
be perfect. Why isn't Star
Yeah,
Allies online?
I
That'd be fun.
I would
And
like a Bravely Default HD collection along with a sequel,
yeah,
like
I think
Bravely
that'd be
Third.
nice. Is there like a lot of fanfare for Bravely Default, you think?
Sort of.
Sort of. I bet
Like
it's like probably one of the,
all Final Fantasy fans love it.
yeah, it's probably one of those
there's
like
a
niche things, like with Octopath Traveler.
oh,
That's not a good
Yeah, I
example,
mean Bravely was sort of niche, but it sold millions of copies. Like
right.
it
Millions.
was
I
sitting at,
do not remember that.
No, it was popular at
yeah,
the time.
I think right now the original one is sitting at 3 million.
I'm looking it up.
a couple while you're doing that, I'm gonna
I
say another
think.
one. There's a Hat in Time.
Ooh,
That would be
Now-
that would
fun.
be fun.
Now
Yeah.
the thing is, the game was
You know what,
originally
right?
supposed to be releasing on PC, Xbox, and PS4 and Wii U, but we all know what happened to the Wii U.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they
Rest in
just
peace.
said, no, we're not porting it to the Switch. That's really sad,
Yeah,
but I still have some hope.
yeah, I don't blame you.
It'll
It's a
happen
good
eventually, I
game.
feel.
It's a fantastic game. I bought it like 3 years before the game came out.
Nice.
Also, Nate, it only sold 1.4 million total, or 1.41 million total.
Okay, that's half of what I said, but it's still alright. For a niche game,
In the ballpark.
for a niche game, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, Josh was talking about A Hat in Time. There was a problem with porting that game. Unreal Engine 3 is not compatible with the Switch, although 4 is. So they'd have to completely recompile all the code for the game. And I know this for a fact because this is why Arc System Works hasn't ported their modern day Guilty Gear games because those run on 3.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many games that still run on Unreal Engine 3, so it would not be surprising if we do end up seeing Unreal Engine 3 support on the Switch, because there are just so many games that still run on it. And everything that's new would run on 4, obviously, but 3 is still widely used.
Right. I was about to say something, I can't remember.
Hmm.
Now,
Shoot.
Ooh, I
Okay,
just
so
got.
move on.
I
can't
just remember one game we need ported.
What?
okay.
Skyward Sword.
Yes,
Mm.
thank you.
Good.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Mm.
Now that's
Wait,
controversial.
I'm actually hoping for a
Oh,
collection
I
like
didn't
they do
realize.
with the GameCube.
Yeah, I
With
actually have the
Ocarina of
Master.
Time and Majora's
Yeah.
Mask Remastered and
Yeah. Oh, I
Wind
want
Waker
Majora's.
HD, Twilight Princess HD,
Yes.
and Skyward Sword HD.
Unpopular opinion. I didn't like Twilight Princess.
Yeah, me neither.
I
I
mean,
didn't like it.
Ding dong,
Second
your
one.
opinion is wrong.
Ooh. Sorry.
Well, like, it's 3-1 here, so you're wrong. Get out, kid.
Ooh, yo.
Beat it,
Mixed up
loser.
between gaming people. What was I about to
Wind
say?
Waker was the game I grew up with.
Um.
Ooh, oh wait. I have another one that I want ported.
What is
All
it?
right, is it weird?
Yes, it's incredibly weird that
Please.
probably no one has ever
No,
heard of.
Josh, we're already getting Senra Kagura reflections.
I
Stop
know.
asking.
Please, Josh, please.
I want a collection of the Super Monkey Ball games.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I have never
that
played
would
any
Yes.
of
be
them.
good.
Yes.
Like that needs to be a
That
Dude,
thing.
would be good.
Banana Blitz on the Wii was lit. I love that game.
That'd be
I had it
fun.
on the.
Dude,
I have all of
Wait
them.
a second.
I have every
Metroid
single
Prime
one.
Trilogy.
Yes. Yes. What with Metroid Prime what is it?
4.
Metroid Prime Hunters.
Oh.
Oh, Hunters.
Fantastic game.
No, they would need to change everything.
I was mainly talking about the GameCube games, like what someone in chat saying. But
We should get Federation Force.
Ew.
what?
Get that out of here.
You know,
Get,
I want to play it. I really do.
I had
Me
it.
too.
yeah, I don't know.
How is it?
Okay.
Does it suck?
You need friends to play it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you do. Federation Force had a single player campaign, I'm pretty sure,
It
though,
did,
and it
but it
was
sucked.
neat.
It was like
Triforce Heroes.
Triforce Heroes is single player where you kind of had to manage everybody.
Autism
Yeah, okay.
Simulator.
Autism Simulator.
Um,
I'm not commenting on that.
I want a calculator remaster for the Switch.
Yeah, calculator, yes. TI-84 or TI-85 though.
The TI-85, please.
You're a man of class. I can definitely tell.
Mm-hmm.
But the 84s are classic. Anyway, I just wanted to mention.
Nah,
Sure, it's a
nah.
I just
classic.
wanted to mention some games from the muted crowd, aka Zave and Andrew. Some things like Sunset Overdrive, Persona 5,
Ooh, that's good.
and what else
Persona
was there?
5.
And SimCity.
Sunset Overdrive, yeah. SimCity.
SimCity, yeah.
SND to SimCity,
What?
please.
No, we should get Farmville. I tell you.
I mean, SimCity is a
My
pretty
grandma
good game,
needs a Switch now.
No,
So
wait.
SimCity's
Pet
fun.
Society.
My grandma.
We should get Pet Society.
Also, I'm just gonna say something that none of you guys probably thought of. I'm gonna be smart about it. Emulation
Okay.
of some kind. Particularly
You mean
for-
Virtual
Emulation?
Console?
Yeah, so
I mean, yeah.
yeah, I think that's already coming in the future. I think we know
Yes, I think we should get Melee HD.
I
I hate
Yes,
those guys.
Oh,
that. Yeah,
That's the kind
please.
of people
let's
that
do
want
it.
Ridley in Smash. Ridley doesn't fit. King K.
needs to fit
Rool
on the
doesn't
cartridge.
either.
Hmm.
You believe that on Smash Reps because I was
Sakurai
last
already said
or the
Ridley.
pilot episode.
Hmm.
What if we got a Nintendogs game for the Switch?
Oh
You
my
know how weird
god.
that
I
That'd
would
be cool.
stuck. I
Oh
would
my
really be
god,
That would
stuck.
HD
really have
Rumble
to
with
switch
petting.
things up.
is. Ooh, yeah. So you can like take the Joy-Con out or something, just like move your arm like you're petting.
Yeah,
To connect
Like
them
just
that would be
feedback.
so much fun.
That'd be fun.
That would be
That would
fun.
actually be
I
pretty
like
fun.
that.
Yeah.
See
We
what
could do.
I told you, Garfield Kart. But
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
That's a mix.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry.
All right, you guys want a weird pick of
Go ahead.
mine?
What's up?
I
Okay.
want Dark Souls 3 on the Switch. I would buy it again,
Me
and I know
too.
I made
They
fun double
already
dipping,
said it
but I'd
runs.
play it again.
Wait, so what is coming? Was it the first Dark Souls?
Yeah, Dark Souls 1.
Oh.
I have
Oh.
first one. That's all I have.
Specifically Prepare to Die edition because it comes with all the DLC. So
Now, Miyazaki already said Dark Souls 3 runs on Switch.
good.
He said that last year. With a good frame rate and everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
if it ran at 30 frames per second stable with some graphical downgrades, I would just cop it again.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like that game a lot.
I've played like 130 something hours on one
Oh
playthrough.
Jeez, that's one playthrough. Okay, but so we don't bore everyone with a topic they probably don't know much about. Anybody else got any really weird picks before we go back to our like kind of normalish picks?
The first Animal Crossing.
The
Goat
first,
Simulator.
I would not be opposed to that. I honestly want to see Animal
too.
Crossing get rid of some of these like weird features that they keep adding.
Yeah.
Like I would honestly like to go back to just the basics, like Animal Crossing 1.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator.
No.
I could see that
No.
happening very,
No.
very reasonably.
Yeah, no. Sonic Heroes. All right, let's
Sonic
let's
Heroes.
get back, let's get back to the
VR
main.
Chat, the return of Uganda.
No.
No.
All right, let's get back.
Bad rats.
Let's get back.
Bad rats.
Bad rats.
All right.
Stop. Stop.
So I don't think
Knock
I've heard.
knock it's Knuckle.
I don't think I've heard Skittles his recommendations and
What?
weird obscure
Oh no, I mean
ports and stuff like
no,
that.
I mean I kind of said mine. Like Splatoon um and
See, that's possible though. That's the
I
thing.
mean kinda. I think honestly they'd probably add it as DLC to Splatoon 2 to kind of just make it like
I just
all connected. But I mean another one that I had in mind was Super Mario Maker, but at the same time that's probably not gonna happen because of all the controls and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
I
I have
know
a question
this is
for
a.
the developer.
Go
I
ahead.
mean,
Josh, is Arlo coming to the Switch anytime?
uh, um I don't know. It's
Well, actually,
possible.
Game Maker is getting Switch support soon.
Yeah, I know. I as I said, it's entirely possible. I said it in the chat.
that'd be fun. I'd be really happy
Roll
to
into
see
the
that.
ad
Yeah,
right
it would
now.
actually be.
I'd be really happy to see that one day.
I'd buy it again.
Yeah. Oh,
So, like, what's your most normal pick? What's like your very likely
most
game?
thing?
Yeah.
I had something and I forgot it. Like
If
for
it's
real, I
virtual
really did have
console,
something.
I want Mario Golf Dual Tour.
That'd be
Sonic
fun.
06 remake.
No,
See.
I'm a Mario sports kind of guy. I hate sports in real life, but Mario sports is fantastic.
The story of my life.
Uh, I've never liked Mario sports games. I'm gonna be the one to break it here.
I mean,
Neither.
honestly, I like the music more than the game.
Oh, Wii Sports! We should have like a Wii Sports compilation. That I
Oh,
mean, I
that'd be
know
kind of cool.
Ooh, yeah,
I know
that
that
could work.
Wii Sports Resort had different mini games, but it took out some of the things that like baseball, boxing, and I think that's it.
Tennis.
No,
Tennis.
was
No, but
no, it
they
had
they
tennis.
kind of had it. They kind of had tennis. It was like table
Yeah.
tennis,
Oh
but
man,
Yeah,
imagine
but
what
Wii
if they
Sports
combined
Resort.
all of those? What if they combined all those and included like maybe say 5 more? That
That
would
would
be
be.
That would be
perfect.
fun.
I would.
Wii Sports Switch Electric Boogaloo.
Make it like $30 on the eShop. We're set. That's gold.
Yeah.
I would honestly buy it and probably never play another game again. Knowing me,
Yeah.
I love
Dude,
Nintendo sports
baseball.
games.
No kidding.
Online multiplayer, Wii Sports.
Oh, but the Mii's are good.
Ooh. Now we're
Wait a
talking.
minute. Wait a
Okay,
minute.
wait,
It
no,
actually
no,
Wii
that's not
Sports has
true.
already Wii Sports has already had online
Yeah,
multiplayer.
Wii Sports
Wii
Club.
Sports Club. Yeah.
Oh, right.
So take
Yeah,
those two.
everybody forgot about that one.
Because it was a subscription instead of a. Well, you get a disc for it, but the disc is like incredibly rare,
Yeah.
and it's going for
Really?
over $100 these days. Yeah, it's
I thought it was
crazy.
Wii Sports did have
just a
multiplayer,
disc.
yes. Wii Sports Club did have multiplayer. Here.
Now, my pick that I think is pretty reasonable, and I think it will happen eventually. I want to see Fallout 4 come to the Switch because
Ooh.
Well, I'm not a big fan of
Oh,
Fallout.
yeah, because you like terrible games. I forgot.
No, but that would actually happen though if you think about it. Like I think that would actually be.
I mean,
really
it's going to happen. It's
Hey,
obviously
Nate.
going to happen.
and I forgot you had terrible taste.
I think I'm pretty
Dude,
sad knowing
Fallout
that I-
4 sucks.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
not starting that debate.
Ow!
Bethesda doesn't know how to make games.
All right,
Oh,
That's a
why-
fact.
fellas. All right. Let's bring it back.
What is
Pulling the reins, pulling the reins.
Viva la
Go,
Sun.
just do some research there. Why? Sorry,
Why
I'm just
what?
I'm on Nintendo's website looking at Wii Sports Club and there's an advertisement just blaring in my ear.
Oh, fun.
Cool.
It's like
Congrats.
so loud.
What's the
Okay, let me think here. So, I think Fallout 4 is going to happen. I'd gladly double dip as long as it came with the DLC and it's the Game of the Year edition because I didn't buy the DLC. I just played the base game a bunch.
Mhm.
It was fun.
Ooh. Well,
You know what we
actually,
should
no, I
get?
don't think that would happen.
Mario Galaxy.
Skittles, go ahead.
Oh,
No,
please, can
I
we
was
do
gonna
that?
say the Spider-Man game, but that's not coming to Xbox.
Spider-Man 2
No,
on
that's
PS2?
Sony.
No.
That's Sony exclusive.
But no, that's not gonna. That's not. It's not even on Xbox, so I don't have anything to say.
It's like the only game they have for this year, aside from God of War, which is basically uh the last of Dark Souls for a Thief's End.
Mm.
I think they had a bit of a deal with. Well, it's not exactly a deal, but Monster Hunter World, they had like some exclusive content with that.
Yeah.
So now, actually, one thing
Yeah.
I do think, and I was actually told from Capcom staff personally, like this is a bit of a leak,
Is
but
Oh,
your
your
book
dad works at
this is a
Capcom? Oh my
this is
god.
this is a leak. This is a leak, but I'm not sure if this is happening or not. But Capcom was working on an action game project, and some members of the Monster Hunter team who were working on Monster Hunter World were working on it, and it might have been directed towards Switch. So I am thinking there might be an exclusive Monster Hunter game for Switch because the Switch is likely not able to carry Monster Hunter World, and yet there has
It
always
actually
been.
it was a launch title in Japan, sort of. Monster Hunter XX, I think it
It
was called.
wasn't a launch title. It came out in August of 2017.
I said
I
sort
have
of.
I have the Monster Hunter Switch game.
I wish I bought it, but I mean, as of now, it's pretty much
You're a
dead because
weeb.
there's World.
Josh, you're a weeb.
No,
Okay,
I
I
don't.
have something.
You know what? Go ahead.
Does Metal Gear?
Yare, that's it.
Do you
I
think,
was gonna bring up Metal
do you
Gear.
think that it'll come? It might.
No,
No,
No.
I don't think it will.
Why not?
they'll
Mainly-
pretend it won't exist from now on.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, maybe.
knowing Konami. Yeah,
Ooh. Could we
they're a
get
bunch of big
Tekken 7?
babies.
No,
No.
No?
no Lucky Chloe on my Switch.
Best character. Am I right?
No, no, no,
But she's
absolutely not.
broken.
No, she's not. Okay, I'm not starting a fighting game debate. This is Splat and Chat, not
No, I know
my
it's the
fighting
worst
game.
character.
Anyway.
She's not the worst. Okay, I'm not starting.
One
I'm
of
not
the worst.
starting.
Alright,
It's one of the
alright.
worst.
What's next, Skits?
No, I'm trying to think. What? Okay, well, okay. As far as games that we know, okay. Out of games that we think, okay, how do I phrase this? Out of games that we know that are gonna come to Switch, at least we can like bet money that will actually come to Switch, like Animal Crossing. We know that Smash is coming to Switch. Like
Yeah.
Nintendo series that
Pokemon.
we know are kind of coming to Switch. What do we predict? That what do we predict that is gonna change for them? Like say Animal Crossing. What do you think they're gonna do to that series to make it fresh for the Switch?
Oh,
Permadeath.
dude, I have so many ideas.
Permadeath.
Ready for this? Are you ready for this? Animal Crossing. Instead of the stupid little tiny island, make it a giant stinking city you can explore with a bunch of people.
Oh,
You know how
that'd be
cool that
kinda
would be?
sad, though. They built a whole
Yeah,
city
it
on an
kind of
island.
kills the
Yeah.
feeling.
No, but I know
Why?
what
Why
you
would
mean
that be
though.
sad?
No, I know what you mean though. Like have a big city. That'd be fun though.
Yeah, no, I
Animal
think that's a
Crossing
good
New Dunk
idea.
City Edition.
No,
New Dunk City
No.
Edition.
no, the Big Boy Cities edition is what it's actually called.
I
Nintendo
also
told me that.
I think they should have some sort of like, this is really weird to suggest, but like customizable environments. As in, when you start up the game and you're able to like, you've all played New Leaf, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you pick a map.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you're able to actually move things around to your liking?
No,
That
then,
would be helpful.
I mean, it'd be helpful, but then at that point, you're kind of playing God at that point.
Well,
Why
you're
not?
kind of.
Civilization on Switch.
No.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. People would die
I
for that.
second that.
I mean, yeah.
No, Cube World. We gotta get Cube World.
Can we please get Cube World for the Switch, please?
Oh my
I
god.
don't know what that is.
I
Happy
love
Wheels.
Cube World. No. No.
No? Okay. Cube World then.
So the thing about the Animal Crossing City idea is actually one I've agreed with for forever. I've thought ever since the city and the Wii one was a
Pretty
good
cool.
idea, but what they should have done with it was don't correct me. They should have they should have made it so you could connect to the internet and have like multiple people, that's just random people in the city with you. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think they should do.
There should be
But you
like
should also have
a
your regular
multiplayer
town.
mode, like
That's what I
a
said.
special mode where you like
Instead of the island.
imagine a Minecraft server.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Something
thought
like
you meant
that.
instead of your town being like a little island type
No,
place.
no, no,
I'm
no.
like,
No, I mean like the stinking, what is it? The Tortimer Island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be just
Yeah,
out.
my bad.
Get out, dingus. Just
My bad.
Just build a city from scratch.
Because that'd be
So,
so cool building the cities from scratch by paying off your bills.
oh no, I
Give
don't
you
like that.
purpose. It would
Uh,
actually give you purpose to do
eh,
things.
you aren't wrong.
Mm.
N- Now, the one that's actually been on my mind, Pokemon. How are they going to
Yeah,
change the system?
I was about to
Because
say.
at this point, they have had just all this time to figure out what they want to do with the Switch. Because, and I hate to say
Pokeball
it,
guns.
I,
No, no,
okay,
I'm
More
kidding.
mature.
make the game rated M.
No.
Tax
No.
fraud.
Tax fraud, yeah.
Pikachu commits tax fraud.
For
Yoshi
20.
commits tax fraud. I don't know if you heard that, but that's coming out next week.
Kirby does his
I've,
taxes.
I've heard. No,
Kirby
but
doesn't do his taxes. He tackles innocent children.
I'm sure the new Pokemon is going to be a new generation.
Oh yeah,
Well,
isn't it
obviously,
confirmed?
right?
I think it's
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Right. They have no reason to port Ultra Sun and Moon. Which, does anyone have any opinions on that
No, I
game?
was talking like
bad. Not
Diamond and
bad,
Pearl
but
remake.
monotonous.
That's gonna come next.
Yeah,
I hated Ultra Sun and Ultra
yeah,
Moon, but I'm not going into
definitely
that.
monotonous.
Yeah, I didn't like them much either. It's like follow the marker basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
battles
No.
weren't fun. It was boring. I miss the gyms too.
Yeah, a little bit. But, I mean, there's that one gym.
that
But back
one
on the
gym.
topic of Pokemon, how will they even change the series? They have literally no way to change the series as of
I
now
mean,
because they have literally eased them. I hate how I'm saying literally so much, but they have literally eased themselves in this like formula of just reskinning the game and adding some new Pokemon yearly or almost yearly at this point. And it's making me upset to see one of my favorite series
Well,
do
But I
this.
mean, they're kind of
Yeah.
faced with a challenge this time. They only have one screen to work with, so they have to think of
Yeah,
something
they're going
new.
to change something.
So that kind of brings me to think about. So you know how who's played Skyward Sword?
Me.
Play a little bit of it.
Me.
So you know how when you fly around, you're able to like see the destinations you can go to. Why don't they
Yeah.
do that with like the flying in that game? I know it'd take a lot of resources, but the Switch is more powerful than the Wii,
Kind of like,
so I think they could totally pull it off.
kind of like how they did with
No,
Omega
the Love
Ruby and
Wings.
Sapphire.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
right,
did it
yeah.
already,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
foreign.
but it's not exactly like
Well, yeah, no, not exactly.
you can only do it with you can only do it with like a certain Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it with any of them.
Latios or Latias. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like
Yeah.
But it'll be like on a grander scale
but-
this time.
yeah, like
the good thing is that they already have the models for every single Pokemon so far.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're not low poly. That's why the 3DS can't run it on 3D because those are good models. Like they have
Yeah,
a
they're
lot of
1080p.
polygons.
Now, the thing that I actually heard a while back is remember the plus and minus rumors?
No.
Yeah.
Those are
Ooh,
really
that brings me
lining up
back.
with the Switch, and apparently that will be cooperation
Oh,
between
yeah.
Bandai Namco and Nintendo, and they will use the Pokken art style instead of what they did for Sun and Moon, X and Y, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, the Gen 6 and 7 games. So that is a very exciting prospect to think that the series will see a dramatic art style change in that realistic
Oh,
kind
into
of
like realistic.
half photorealism
I
style.
doubt that
Yeah,
will
I'm gonna
happen.
pull up a picture of. I
I mean,
don't.
they could. They're going to rework the textures for sure, but models are going to stay like they are.
I greatly doubt that. I think they will have to genuinely just completely redo the series for it to be worth anyone's time because they have such powerful hardware to work with now. They have no excuse to continue a primitive art style and
Yeah, but
primitive environments.
the
upgraded
models
marker.
were like I was saying, the models have a lot of polygons. That's why the game was run so poorly on the 3DS.
No, but like I'm like thinking about it
They
though.
they
What would
could
the
they could
human
just
characters
reskin
look like?
them.
What?
What would the human characters look like if everything was in that like Pokemon art style?
They were still in the kind of regular art style. The Pokemon,
yeah,
like the
you're
humans, had
right.
slightly more realistic, like
Right.
proportions and
Right. I
things,
remember.
like Sun and Moon added,
Right.
and it all
Yeah,
ends up
it was
adding up in the
the
end.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, if you made it like close to Breath of the Wild, where you're that kind of cell shaded style, for like the
Yeah.
environments and things, and have the Pokemon too,
Yeah.
it would work. It definitely would work.
Yeah, I think so.
There's just a lot of innovation to be done. And of course, they can always innovate the battle systems. We don't know what they're up to at Game Freak. And apparently, if the plus and minus rumors are true, which the plus and minus rumors are from 2014. So they successfully predicted the Switch. They predicted the Pokken art style because this was like in the middle of Pokken's development. And there was a ton of stuff about it being for a console with a terminal/dock and a handheld, which lines up perfectly with the Switch in 2014. So there's too many things lining up here for it not to be true. So I'd like to think that's plausible. And apparently the battles are more action focused now as opposed to strategy.
Mention Pokemon style
Something just
fights
crossed
for
my
everything.
mind. The Joy-Cons, one has a plus, the other one has a minus.
Yes, that was the other thing that I noticed too.
Interesting.
I'm much from up the plus and minus.
Illuminati confirmed.
It's crazy how this all lines up, and it would genuinely make sense for them to have a region based on China,
Hmm.
like
No,
the
I
Chinese
think the next one.
legendaries.
I think they were
Oh.
talking about
Oh.
a region based in Spain.
So there will be no new Mega Evolutions, which lines up with the fact that they've moved away from Mega Evolutions. Z moves return, right? But this is updated to it, and central plot revolves around tradition and innovation, which is interesting. And then the region innovation is not China anymore, but Spain and Italy. And they're going to make a Chinese market one of their big marketing focuses, as opposed to a Chinese region, which I mixed up. So my bad.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and send you guys a link to the leak in our chat, so you can look at that and have any thoughts of your own. So go ahead and take a look if you want. But if anyone, what other series do you guys hope to see on Switch?
Besides Animal Crossing and Pokemon.
Oh, Fire
That's a big
Emblem's
deal.
already coming.
I mean,
For
everything's
me,
pretty much on.
I mean,
I mean, maybe besides like the
uh,
hidden gems, like
the Bravely series and Kid Icarus.
yeah, and like the hidden stuff like F-Zero. Did we didn't get Star Fox yet. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
hearing
Spyro.
a distant whisper. Spyro, yes.
Maybe. I mean, Crash
Oh, it's
Bandicoot's coming
Spyro
out.
2.
I love Sonic.
Yeah, I need Sonic
genuinely,
06 as well.
yeah, me too. That's a great game.
Yeah.
Put
In
me in
this
May.
I
one,
kind of want a Sonic Heroes too, but I know it probably won't happen.
Okay,
All right.
I want a Sonic Colors sequel. That game was
That'd
fun.
be fun.
I loved that game. That game was like my life when I was a kid.
Yeah.
we could
See, I
get Sonic
remember
Generations on Switch.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Sonic Generations on Switch would be cool,
would.
but it had to be like a $10 digital game because the PC version has like mods and it's like $5. I'm gonna try and look it up right now.
Interesting.
You can get it on PC for $7. So like, there's no excuse for them to make it more than like $20.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it had to be cheap.
Ooh, excuse me.
I'm trying to think here. What else about the any other
Persona.
like Persona? I hate to say it, but I don't think it's happening on Switch. Now,
I don't know if
actually,
it's... No, actually, Persona Q2.
yeah, there's that update on it today where they changed the system that's going to come out
Yeah,
on from 3DS
it-
to be determined.
Yeah.
What? Wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, they cut the 3DS, like they made it so it says to be determined on the system it's coming out for now.
Dang.
So it's probably not 3DS anymore.
Dang.
Probably Switch now, which is a good move on their part because they get to establish their footing some more on Switch, get familiar with it, and then eventually release Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah. No, personally, I'd buy Persona 5 again if it comes out on Switch.
Yeah.
I had
I
a
mean,
ton
I'd
of
buy
fun with that
Persona.
game. I really like it. Now, they could also release Persona 4 Golden, which was on beta, but nobody had a beta. So
Hey, I had a Vita and I played that
yeah,
game,
me
so
too. I'm actually playing Persona 4, but like it sold 4 million systems.
see, I
That's
would like
nothing.
to venture that your numbers on these systems are
No, I
vastly
think it
low.
went up to 10 million, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think here. I'll pull up the numbers and I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm going to look for it as well.
Okay, VG charts, I got that pulled up right now. and it says 1.25 billion total, which is no
Wait, what?
slouch.
Wait.
1.25 million.
Oh,
Wikipedia, I'm a
million.
man of
Okay, I
culture.
was about to say.
Wikipedia. That's a Wikipedia reference? You're expelled. So, back to what we were saying.
Yeah, 10, 15 million.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It went up because Japan.
Okay, but like if we're talking games on the Switch and Persona, they would have. I think they won't port 5 because of Sony, and being Sony, they really do not like when you cross them on exclusives, and I do not think they will port 3 or
Yeah,
4
but
unless it's a remake. But
Persona Q2 uses the Persona 5 characters.
that doesn't mean they have to port 5 though. Persona
No,
Q1
but that means it's not out of the question.
Persona Q1 used P3, P4 characters,
Yeah.
and you didn't see either of those games get a portable format on the 3DS. So I don't know what makes this time different.
Anyways.
I don't know. PS2
Yeah,
games
let's move
would
on from that.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Are there any closing comments on the topic as a whole?
Well, I think the Switch has got a bright future ahead of it.
Yeah.
I think
that's
it's a good system. It's in good shape.
Yeah.
And as long as third parties keep supporting it, I think it will be a good system for at least the next 5 years, maybe 4. I don't
Man,
know.
I was lowballing.
But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Hey, I was lowballing in my head. I said like
Yeah,
2,
same
3.
It's
here.
not really lowballing. It's already been out for 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or for
there's
1
actually
year, not 5.
2 other games coming this year.
What's that?
Yoshi and Fire Emblem.
The real Fire Emblem? Or no? Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
a
you're
real
right.
Fire
The real
Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Yeah, you're right. Oh dear.
All right, so you guys
But
ready to close this
as long
out?
as they
Yeah.
keep rolling out those games, I see a good future.
Yeah. I agree. So, thank you all for participating in the Splat and Chat podcast, and we'll see you whenever we have time to record. See you guys later.
Yeah.
See you guys
See
later.
ya.
Yep.